This video is sponsored in part by the White Fang Law series by best-selling author Melinda Snodgrass. Being a human in a supernatural law firm can suck. Go to Amazon.com for your copy today. Okay, so here's what was going on. I was basically unhappy with my Skyrim playthrough. I didn't know why, but I do know that when I restarted it, I wasn't any happier. And it took me a while to realize that the problem was I wasn't getting the right feeling from it. What I wanted to do was basically play D&D in video game form. And all I was doing with the previous playthroughs was I was roaming around doing things at random. I wasn't really making any role-playing decisions. I wasn't basing my character's actions on anything really specific. So I decided to start again, only this time it would be with a specific character. They'd have their own personality, they've had their own goals, they'd have their own backstory. And to that goal, I came up with 6 different character concepts. I mean, the truth is I came up with about 40, but I narrowed it down to 6. Some of them were original ideas, some of them were based on things I'd seen online, some of them were suggestions from other people. But I whittled it down to these 6. So after I had picked the 6 finalist characters, finalist? Is that even a word? Anyway, you know what I mean. After I picked the contenders, if you will, I went onto Facebook and I posted on several pages and I said, hey, look, I can't whittle this down anymore. I need help. Which character of these 6 do you think would make the best Let's Play? And I, of course, as you can see in the visuals, I, of course, detailed out each of these 6 characters. You know, some notes on roleplay, what kind of armor and weapons they would have, what their base concept was, what their skill selection would be, things like that. You know, whether they would side with the Empire or the Stormcloaks, whether they would use magic, things like that. You know, were they good people? Were they bad people? And then I said, okay, but we're going to put it to a vote. And at the end of the vote, there was a decisive leader. That leader was Gorash Blood-Drinker. Now, Gorash is based on the concept of the old orc. I got this idea, this basic idea, from an online database of Skyrim builds. I did not directly copy the build, but I thought the base concept of the character was fascinating. And I've since found out that apparently there's an NPC in the game somewhere like this that is also the old orc. I did not know that, having never completed a single playthrough yet. But that didn't matter. I was fascinated by the concept, and so this is going to be the adventures of Gorash Blood-Drinker, the old orc. He's seeking a good death in combat rather than growing old and dying in his bed. So, welcome to the game. I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, you. You're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us. And that thief over there.
Damn you Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't been looking for you, could have stolen that horse and been halfway to Hammerfell. You there, you and me, we shouldn't be here. It's these Stormcloaks the Empire wants.
I still think that this is one of the best openings in any game.
Shut up back there.
What's wrong with him, huh?
And the environment is just
Watch your
absolutely
tongue.
gorgeous.
You're speaking to Ulfric Stormcloak, the true High King.
So anyway,
Windhelm?
you know, welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Skyrim.
Gods, where are they taking
This
us?
is going to be my third attempt at
Don't know
a
where we're going.
complete playthrough.
Sovngarde
This
away.
time, like I said in the intro,
this
I
can't
am
be
playing a
happening. This
character.
isn't
I'm not just playing a big pile of stats
Hey.
who's doing things.
What village are you from, horse thief?
Why do you care?
Locure of
A Nord's
Rorikstead.
last thoughts.
Anyway, and like I noted, I am
Rorikstead.
going to be playing
I'm-
Blood Blood-Drinker,
I'm from
the old orc
Rorikstead.
who seeks a good death in combat rather than dying of old age in his bed.
Good. Let's get this over with.
He's not going to use any spells.
Sure.
He's not going
Come
to
on.
use any
Denard,
healing magic.
Kinnereth, Akatosh,
The only healing will be
Divines,
food, so he
please
is
help
going to
me.
be cooking. He doesn't, you know, I'll use magic items. I just won't use healing magic, and I'm
General
not going to be
Tully's
casting
the
lightning
military
bolts or
governor.
something.
And it looks like the Dalmor are with them.
Also, and this
Damn
is going to be a
elves.
difficult one,
But they had
no
something to do with this.
companions. No companions. So, it's going to be a struggle. Now this is a modded playthrough.
This is
However, as I said
used to be
in the
sweet on
previous
curve
start
from here.
with the modded
Wonder if
playthrough, the
Elon
mods I
is
got
still
mostly are
making that
cosmetic.
mead with juniper
You know, there's
berries.
a couple of
Funny.
new sets
When
of
I was a
armor,
boy,
some new weapons,
Imperial walls
and of course most
towers
of them are just
used to be
reskins
fields.
of standard weapons and armor. I'll give you an example of one of the mods right here. This guy's wearing an Imperial cloak. That comes from a mod.
Why?
Um,
Watch the soldiers.
Inside the house. Now.
I got a general appearance buff. That's a mod. I have an alternate start mod. I've got a body quality
Why
mod.
do you think
I do have it set on
I'm
never
alive?
nude though, so no boobies for you. But
Let's go.
otherwise, most of it
Shouldn't keep the
is,
gods waiting for us.
you know, things like new eye colors
We're not
or
rebels.
new sets of armor
Face
or
your
new
death with
clothing
some
or,
courage, thief.
you know,
You've got to tell them. We weren't
things like
with you.
that. I've
This
got a
is
couple of
mistake.
mods that have added to Skyrim things that were only found in Morrowind,
Empire loves their damn lists.
but no god items
Ulfric
and nothing that'll make the
Stormcloak,
game inherently
Jarl of
easier.
It has been an honor, Jarl Ulfric.
Ralof of Riverwood. Lokir of Rorikstead.
No, I'm not a rebel. You
Now,
can't
like
do
I said, I
this.
do have an alternate start mod. I just happened to decided to use the standard
Anyone else feel like
Wait. You there.
1 second.
Step forward.
I just felt
Who
like using
are
the
you?
standard opening for this.
You from one of the strongholds, Zork. How did you end up here? Captain, what should
But
we do? He's not on the list.
Forget the list. He goes to the
The
block.
primary effect of this
orders,
alternate
Captain.
start,
I'm
really
sorry.
the reason I got
Make
it,
sure your Mensa
was
turns
because
to
it
a
lets you build your character
Follow
before
the
you get to
captain,
this
prisoner.
point. That way you can plan on it better. Plus, if for example I had decided to play Irma Cyankano, who is one of the other characters, she's a wizard and she's an elf, and the concept with her is she was an overthrown princess who now wants to strike back at the Thalmor. Well, I wouldn't start her here.
You started this war, plunged Skyrim into chaos.
I'd probably start her
Now
at
the
Winterhold.
Empire is going to
In
put
fact,
you down and
I'm almost
restore
definitely going
the
to play a
peace.
second playthrough while I'm running this Let's Play.
What was that?
You probably won't ever see
Nothing.
anything of
Carry on.
my second
General
playthrough, but
Tully.
my second playthrough will
Give
be
them their last words.
starting in a different
As
location,
we
and it'll
commend
be
your souls to Aetherius,
it probably will be
blessings of
Uramus,
the eight divines upon
because
you.
she's a
love of
wizard,
Talos, shut
and
up.
Gorash
Let's get this over
here
with.
is nothing more than a
As you
warrior.
wish.
He's a barbarian warrior.
Come on! I haven't got all morning. My ancestors are smiling at me, Imperials. Can you say the same?
Here comes another mod. Heightened blood textures.
You Imperial
The base effect of which is to make combat a lot more bloodstream.
To the
It's going to be a gorier game,
As
guys.
fearless in death as he was in life.
Next, the orc.
Here it is again. Did you hear that?
I said next prisoner.
To the block, prisoner. Nice and easy.
Yep. Oh, look, that's a visual glitch caused by one of the tattoos that the orc is wearing.
What do you see?
It's in the clouds.
No, it's not. It's on the tower. There's apparently a mod out there that will repair that line so the guard doesn't say it's in the clouds. He'll say it's on the tower.
Guards, get the townspeople to safety! Someone get the battle mages out here, now!
Hey, look! Get up! Come on, the gods won't give us another chance! This way!
Jarl Ulfric, what is that thing? Could the legends be true?
Legends don't burn down villages.
Now, if I remember correctly, Jarl Ulfric is being voiced by Vladimir Kulik,
Let's go!
a Norwegian actor, maybe he's Swedish. But for any of you who are familiar with the film The 13th Warrior starring Antonio Banderas, it's a low-key, semi-fantasy, historical action drama
On the other side.
starring Antonio Banderas as an Arab among Vikings.
We'll follow when we can!
Anyway, Vladimir Kulik played Bolvi. 13th Warrior is a very stylized telling of the Beowulf myth, as realistically as possible, plus an Arab.
Everyone get back! Still alive, prisoner? Keep close to me if you want to stay that way. Gunnar, take care of the boy. I have to find General Tullius and join the defense.
Gods guide you.
Now, originally, I wasn't planning on having Gorash take sides in the Civil War, but I did decide, finally, at the last minute, that given his quest, which is to die in combat, a noble death, a good death, the Imperials tried to interfere with that by attempting to cut his head off. Therefore, he's going to side with the Stormcloak.
Soldier, we're leaving!
It's you and me, prisoner. Stay close.
How in Oblivion do we kill this thing?
He's going to support the Stormcloaks in the Civil War.
Trailer, you damn traitor.
He's going to
We're escaping Hathor. You're not stopping us this
oppose the Empire in all things.
I hope that Randy takes you all the Sovereign Guard.
You, come on! Into the keep!
With me, prisoner. Let's go.
And he's going to do it all because they were going to kill it. They were going to kill him. They were going to cut his head off.
We'll meet again in Sovngarde, brother. Looks like we're the only ones who made it. That thing was a dragon, no doubt. Just like the children's stories and the legends. The harbingers of the end times. We better get moving. Come here. Let me see if I can get those bindings off. There you go.
Now, this was another
May as
decision
well
I
take
decided.
Gunner's gear. He won't be needing it anymore.
If you're playing a normal unmodded game, then you come in here and you grab all of Gunyar's loot. You know, the war axe, the fur boots, and the cuirass. However, I'm not going to do any of that. I decided that I wanted my orc to look like an orc from the get-go. So I have the Barbarian Steel Armor mod. Basically, it adds armor that looks